Hey everyone, welcome back. So, our next guest is an actress, comedian, writer, and director who's been paving her way through notable shows such as Comedy Central's Nora from Queens, FBI Most Wanted, and Billions. She started her career as a dancer and has several off Broadway credits under her belt. And, well, for the past decade, Suni, that's her name, has been performing improv, sketch, and stand up. And, well, during the pandemic, her homemade parodies went viral, and she states while going viral, she didn't catch the virus. Boom. Uh, she recently, but most recently, she guest starred on the new HBO Max hit series Gordita Chronicles and is in the new satirical horror movie American Carnage. Everyone, please welcome actress, comedian, and friend Suni Reyes. Hey, Suni.
Oh, thank you. What a beautiful intro. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you,
We're
thank
so
you, thank you for having me.
we're happy to have you, and I just love like even your bio is comedic. So it's
Right.
you know get because he's like, well, it went viral, but I didn't catch the virus. Okay.
Keep them on their toes, you know? Bios are so like, oh, do I really have to say this? All right, I guess. But hey, remember who I am.
Exactly. And I what I didn't mention is that you're also hosting comedy night at Queensboro Restaurant in Jackson Heights, Queens. And I think it's more because I'm so excited about these new projects that you're in. I'm watching. I think I'm on like episode 5 of Gordita Chronicles, and I was so excited when I saw your face. I was like, oh my gosh, we gotta have Suni back on because the last we had you on air, it was in studio when we could hug each other, and you were doing something at a Museo del Barrio, and you continue to forge forward and get these wonderful roles. And so let's talk about you, Mama. Let's talk about Gordita. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Gordita. Gordita was it was the first job right after the pandemic. Like it was very rough. I finished that show at Museo del Barrio, the very Merry Barrio comedy show. There was a holiday show. We all got together. I got to hug you, like you said. And then we lost everything as artists. We lost our community. We lost the auditions where it was like crickets. Nothing happened. Some of us lost other things, and it was a very hard time, you know. And Gordita came right at the toward the end of that little 2 year hiatus. And I was very grateful. I got to audition for the lead role, and they remember me from that audition, and that's how I got called back to do one of the roles of the neighbors, Ingrid. And I was so happy when they I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Is a show about this Latina journalist that is retelling her story of growing up in Miami in the 1980s as a chubby girl with this like super colorful Dominican family. And it is such an inclusive show, not only with body positivity, but the diversity of Latino characters that they have in it is funny. Like it is a funny
Oh,
show,
I know.
so it's like to have a Latino comedy show out there right now. It felt really special to be a part of it. And it's shot in Puerto Rico. What? I got to
I know.
see my mom. I got to see her.
Oh my gosh, how exciting for you. How exciting. I gotta be honest with you, I was so excited when I saw your face. I was like, oh my God, Suni, being a coffee snob. Yes, of course.
Yeah, it was such a fun, yeah, and I'm playing a Colombian character, so it was also fun to explore that accent and like just to see like like we have these little things that we hold on to as Latinos. No, but my people do this better. But my people do this better. But and at the end of the day, it's like y'all, we're good. We're not drinking el café aguao ese de los Estados Unidos. Our coffee, all of our coffees are good.
I love how you did it in Spanish. You're like, well, for those who need to know what I said,
Right.
tienes que entender. Funny. You're funny. I love it. And so, and I do want to say a aside from it just being a Latino driven, body positive and comical, it's very clever. It's very clever in the way the story is told, the inside and the revisiting and the narration. I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'm so proud of you. And congratulations on it. And may it get picked up for another season. It's
Please,
currently streaming
please.
on HBO Max. And so, just for clarity purposes, you said you started shooting this right after the pandemic, or rather in the tail end of I guess somewhat. I don't know where we're at now,
I
because
know. What's
we're
time?
not in
What's
post.
time?
We're not in post pandemic. We're not.
It's it's like after I say lockdown pre-lockdown, lockdown, and post-lockdown, but the pandemic is still happening.
Right. So we'll say like 2021. We'll say
Right, the end of it. Yeah, the end of 2021. Yeah.
the end of 2021. So that was a pretty quick turnaround as far as them rolling it out.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It was unfortunately, we're still fighting very hard in Hollywood to get money for our projects, for Latino projects, and it's a miracle when they get approved, and then the next step is to get the money. And what that means is like you have less time to shoot because they'd only give you this budget and run. I guess that's the that's it. Also, it has two sides. Is you're rushing, and there's not a lot of it's not a big budget, but it also makes the project like more meaningful, I guess, because you want to make it so good, and for it to be watched. So you just roll it out. Hey, it's ready here for the masses.
And the other thing I really like about it too is, aside from the young little gordita who's like the main character, who is so confident. What her name is, Olivia Goncalves, right?
Yes, she's amazing.
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, ¿dónde encontraron esta muchachita?
No, she's the best. I just found out we did the how you say, the screening of like the opening night here in New York City, and I got to meet her and talk a little bit more about her experience, and I just found out that she this is her first acting experience. She was not an actor.
Oh,
She literally would submitted a video with other talented girls, and her little homemade video was so good, and so her personality is so charming. She's so funny. I heard that she did a split in the video. So they were like, she's the one. Like, she was just like so confident, even though she's very young, but she's so mature in that way that
I,
she's like embracing who she is, and just seeing that, witnessing that makes you feel like so much better about everything.
I agree, and so I really want to make sure that we talk about American Carnage. But before we jump into that topic, I also want to share with everyone that this project has some pretty big names attached to it, and I really appreciate that too. And I think it's important that we mention that Eva Longoria is one of the executive producers, and Zoe Saldana is one of the executive producers. And I know Dasha Polanco is involved. I don't know if it's as a producer, but I've
She's the
seen.
narrator. She's narrating the voice of
Oh,
the
she's the
lead of.
narrator. I kept trying to say, I kept trying to figure out. I'm like, I see her name, but what is she?
I
I don't see
know.
her. Right. Okay. So she's
She's
the narrator.
gordita, but the adult that is narrating her story as a little girl.
Oh my gosh. I hope I didn't give anything away, because I haven't finished watching the
Oh, I
series.
know, I know. But watch it, everyone. Watch it so we get renewed. We have to watch.
No, it's really, I'm enjoying it so much. So much. Pero anyway, before we go, I want to make sure that we talk about American Carnage, because American Carnage also has this flavorful cast. And I know you play the mom in this. We're going to show a clip of it. Pero the concept is really weird.
Yes.
It makes it interesting.
Yes, it is a satirical horror movie, which means it has social political commentary, but through the lens of horror, which I am not a fan of. Like, I don't watch horror movies, but when I got the script, I was like, wait a minute. It's kind of like Get Out, the Jordan Peele's movie.
Yes, yeah, the Peel
It's
movie.
like Get
Yeah.
Out. It's like the Latino immigrant version of Get Out. And the beautiful part about it is like the lead family, the lead roles are very diverse, but the lead family is an Afro Latino family. It's a Dominican family, immigrant family that it gets separated and the kids are sent to this facility that is it's scary. And it mirrors what is happening, at the border, and how the families got separated, and how we don't know what is going on in there. We don't know what happened to these kids in cages, and how all of a sudden we don't talk about it. So this writer and producer, Diego Halivis, and his brother Julio, they really went into like this horror genre to express the horrors of the immigration policy here in the United States.
Right, except they went extreme, right? Because they brought him into like a senior citizens home, right? Because it
Yeah.
shows in the trailer, or I think, I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet, but then there's other things going on there that are supernatural.
Yeah.
So it's got this mosh posh of innuendos going on in
Right.
storytelling.
Yeah, a lot of metaphors, and it's funny, it's satirical, so then they use humor, so there are parts in the dialogue, that it's like, oh, this is there's humor in the way that we interact, the characters interact with each other, but the circumstances that they're in is the part that's scary. So I love that duality where like the characters are not, it's not like what you did last summer.
Right.
Kind of like we're all like speaking in like code words. No, it's a very natural dialogue. People can go and laugh at it and then see the scary part and be like, oh wow, I see what you did there. And the effects they came up with, like it came out really, I was like, oh my gosh, I have no idea how this is gonna come out, because again, I don't really watch horror movies, but this one you gotta watch.
I
It's poignant, it's funny. You can watch it on demand on like Amazon, and it's in New York City at Cinema Village, in the East Village playing, so you gotta check it out.
Well, I'm really happy for you, and I'm happy that you're here to share it with our viewers. And when I say I'm happy for you, because I know during the pandemic you were over there creating your own content to keep yourself occupied. And I mean, granted, you went viral, but it's certainly different for you to get out there and be on sets and and be part of the shift that's occurring, because this is also predominantly Latino cast. So and I love all the work that you do, Suni. So thank you for making the time to always come and share it with our viewers and with me.
Thank you so much for your support, for seeing the efforts, because the general audience sees the final product, but the path is a very rough path, especially nowadays, and after the pandemic that's still going on. So it is, I am very grateful for your support, and for the spotlight, for for people to get to see these projects, so we can see each other on TV more, and more of them can happen. We can then, if this is successful, more writers will get their shows produced, more actors will work. So I truly appreciate it. And the same, that I think all the most wonderful things about you, so it's the love is mutual.
That's wonderful. And thank you for your transparency and everything that you do and everything that you say. It doesn't go unnoticed. And I want you guys to really take note of what she said, because that's how we get our movies made. It's like we have to support it. We have to show up for it. So once again, that's Suni Reyes, who is an actress and comedian. And if you're interested in more on her, you can go to her Instagram account at Suni_Reyes_. But we are encouraging you to check out the hit series Gordita Chronicles, currently streaming on HBO Max, and of course the American Carnage film that is now playing in theaters and on Amazon Demand. We need to support each other, so make sure you click on hit. All right, stay tuned. Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.